Okay.
Okay, minutes of the previous meeting, everybody get a chance to peel through them?
Yes, and there was a special meeting too, so we have minutes from 2 meetings.
Right. Special meeting was for the resolution number 2-2025.
Right.
Resolution to seek funds from the People, Parks, and Community Foundation for $30,000.
Do motion for one meeting, and then the other, I guess, right? They can't be together.
Okay.
Motion to.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for the first meeting.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Randy, seconded by Teresa, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays,
I'll make
abstentions?
the motion to accept the minutes for the second meeting.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Randy, seconded by Shayna, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstentions, both motions.
Abstention?
For this one?
I wrote it, so
Okay.
I have to abstain.
So.
I followed the
that
law.
was the 23rd.
Yes. Okay, bill list.
We have 2 bills to add to the list. The money is already in the
3.
3 bills. Did you get the 3rd bill?
Well, there was actually one for quality printing,
Oh, okay.
and that was for $482.78. And then you want to do the other 2?
Okay.
Oh, I have them.
All right.
Okay.
You can go ahead and read them.
The other 2 are from Pioneer Construction Company. They're progress payments for the ball field project. One for $46,294.20. The other one is for $66,548.70. That comes out of the ball field fund, the grant money.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills with 3 additions.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Randy, seconded by Teresa. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Motion passes. Police report. Fred, how are you?
All right, how are you doing today?
Can't complain.
Can't complain?
Yes, sir.
Neither can I so far.
Mm-hmm.
All right, monthly report for May, for the police report. Disabled vehicles, we got 1. Assisted other police agencies, we got 3. Disputes, disorderly conduct, we got 1. Welfare check, 2. Motor vehicle accidents, 1. Noise complaints, 2. PFAs served, 1. Suspicious persons, 3. Traffic verbals, warnings, 2. And written citations were 3. 14 ongoing investigations, and total calls for a month were 37.
Thanks, Fred.
Thanks.
Fred.
Any questions for the chief? Fire company report.
I've got it. They're busy setting up the Grove tonight, getting ready for the 100-year celebration. They had 14 calls for the month of May. Friday starts the 100-year celebration from 5 to 11. They'll have fireworks. Saturday is from 12 to 11 with the parade. And they want to thank everybody for their support and hope that you come out Friday or Saturday.
Trace the parade's 4 o'clock, right?
I believe Shayna has the
Yes,
times.
lineup's at 3,
I think so.
starts at 4, ends at the Grove.
Line them up?
Line up at 3 at RD,
Okay. That's what-
parade starts at 4, ends at the Grove.
Sounds like there's going to be lots of fire trucks.
Thank you, Teresa.
Welcome.
Mayor's report.
Yes, I'll be attending the mayor's convention next month. It's in Harrisburg. And they also sent us some raffle tickets if anybody's interested. I have it. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Zoning officers report. Joe is excused. Solicitor's report.
I was contacted by the people from the solar plan. They went down to Wayne County Department of Planning, and there are some comments and things, and at the appropriate time, they're gonna resubmit plans, which will be in conjunction and in compliance compliance with the Department of Planning, recommendations, and at the appropriate time, they would ask that we just re-sign them, that's all.
Sound good? Any questions?
That's it.
That it? Correspondence.
Okay, I have the ambulance report for the month of May. 59 dispatches, 53 responses, 27 calls were in Waymart Borough with 3 going to mutual aid. Chris just referenced the solar farm. Chris, is there anything in this letter you want me to read?
No, if anybody wants a copy of it, but it's basically just your standard comments coming from Wayne County Planning.
You have notes on the back.
I have notes on the front of this one, so I'll have to get you a clean copy.
Okay.
but-
I didn't know you wanted the notes on the
No,
back.
it's just standard comments and things. At the appropriate time, we'll look at them again and then sign it for them so that they can move forward.
Okay, we received a letter, from the, Mr. Ziegler from Craig Rickard. This was to Mr. Ziegler from Craig Rickard, as a support for the reference grant through DCED GTRP grant program. The request funding will be utilized for improvements to the borough's Wayside Park to install a fully accessible picnic pavilion for area families, a playground, training structure, electric power, and lighting to the proposed pavilion, and for uplighting the existing American flag at Park Center. As stated within the recently completed Wayne County Recs, Parks and Natural Resources Plan, the borough completed a feasibility study at the Veterans Park in 2021 with a recommendation to fulfill the findings of that completed study to meet the public recreational needs and provide high-level recreational opportunities and access while protecting cultural and natural resources. As discussed in the Community Facilities and Recreation Plan, the county's comprehensive plan, the bulk of recreational facilities should be provided by private enterprise, municipal governments, and school districts. The county should play a supportive role in assisting municipal governments with the provision of recreational facilities. An additional goal of the borough's comprehensive plan is to promote the availability of recreational facilities with the objective to continue the development of community parks. These identified improvements to this municipal park will assist in achieving these identified comprehensive plan objectives and recommendations. Based on these findings, the Wayne County Planning Department supports the borough's efforts in applying for the DCED GTRP funding for these identified Wayside Park improvements. Back over to you.
Thank you.
We received action from, the Salvation Army versus Wayne County Commissioners. Chris, is there anything you wanna add to all of this?
We're not really involved. It's basically, the county's trying to tax Lador. They have 600 acres, I think, and they're saying that it's not all used for profit purposes. They're trying to tax it. The judge ordered that we get notifications of everything going on with the case also. I don't think it's been our intent to go down there and be heard and put on testimony, and you know, Jane hates paying the lawyers, so we hate to pay me money to go down there in the case. So anyway, it's just a copy of related to the case. Anything we say isn't gonna have to do with any of the outcome of the case.
I have it available if anybody wants to read. I have the Waymart Area Authority minutes available if anybody wants to see those. We received from our Planning Commission on May 28th, 2025, a hearing was held for a conditional use appeal regarding the old Hayes Market location, requesting conditional use change that would allow a warehouse to be located in the former supermarket building. When referencing the Waymart Borough zoning map, it should be noted that this site is located on the CG Commercial General District. After research of the Waymart Borough zoning regulations and the testimony from Paul Madden, project manager of Grimm Construction, the Waymart Borough Planning Commission requests the denial of the conditional use zoning appeal. Based on the location of the site and district, it falls under CG Commercial General. None of the associated conditional uses fit the description of a warehouse. The only district that the conditional use fits is that of I Industrial, and this location is not zoned for it. Changing the conditional use would allow for an increased change in the borough's landscape. These are Waymart Borough regulations, and from the perspective of the Planning Commission, these should not be challenged and must be followed. This is Waymart's commercial district. It should be retained and utilized for retail and service establishments meant to serve the needs of the local and surrounding communities. Also, to a lesser extent, some other issues could arise over time were mentioned at the hearing. It was stated that there's no guarantee that other items besides copper tubing and insulation would be stored there. It was stated that this situation is temporary and will be in use for 5 years until expansion at the P-Tubes facility is completed. It seems unclear as to what happens if the conditional use is changed. It was stated that PennDOT was approached and the necessary permits were addressed. However, it is likely an increase in traffic. Box trucks and 53 tractor trailers will be crossing Route 6 to enter the parking lot at the proposed warehouse. And based on 3 shifts currently in operation at P-Tubes, that indicates an increased amount of production and hence increased traffic. Along with a history of motor vehicles accidents at this location, this has the potential to be a hazardous situation. With the topic of perhaps getting another vendor to occupy all or part of the facility as a supermarket, the testimony revealed that only one other vendor was approached to see if there was any interest in opening a supermarket. The Planning Commission feels that there was not enough due diligence performed to truly identify the interest of opening a supermarket, utilizing all or part of the existing building. This truly is a need for access to groceries in the Waymart area, as many citizens of the area agree. If any questions arise regarding this matter, please contact any member of the Waymart Borough Planning Commission. Sincerely, Wayne Maycheck, Dean Stratton, Waymart Borough Commission. We did get an email as well of the opening of the bids for Wayside Park. So the Wayside Park Phase 1 is up for bid, and you can view it and share this link with those who ask for it and those you'd like to encourage to bid. So if anyone in the general public, they're up on Penn Live, is that what it is?
Yes,
Penn Live. And if interested, you can contact and we can forward you. the
Is
link.
that .com?
I'll talk on a little.
It's pennbid.com is what it is. Pennbid,
I
I'm
have the
sorry.
link, I can text it to you.
And there's a link here, so
I was going to text it to you all.
I can forward the email on, Jane forwarded it on. And that is all, I believe, for correspondence.
Excuse me, folks, I have to go. The record will reflect that meeting. Would you just,
I will.
good luck with your vote.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you, Heather. Guests and citizens. Did anybody sign it yet? Oh.
I didn't get the sheet, so.
I just want to verify that you received notice from the zoning hearing board about the officers, the chair, the
Yes.
vice chair, and the secretary. Okay.
Yes, we did receive that, and I have updated our, contact list.
Fabulous.
If anybody
Okay.
would like a copy of that.
Thank you so much.
So Maria Miller, sorry.
Oh.
This is your turn.
Rob Grimm.
I just had some stuff on the 2 ordinances, I don't know if when you go to talk about that.
Yeah.
If you wanna talk about it then?
What do we have those under?
They're under,
Unfinished. Yeah, bring it up under unfinished.
Then we may check.
Yeah, I'm just curious, does the borough do anything for, with vermin control?
With what?
Vermin, mice, rats.
I got a cat. You can
No,
borrow.
no, I just wondered, is there anything the borough can do, yes or no?
I don't think so.
If
It's usually between neighbors.
Okay, so if it's a no, then I'm done.
I mean, it's really a question for Joe.
Well, that's, I mean, should I contact Joe about it then?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, try Joe.
okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
You can go out there with his BB gun.
Cool.
Paul.
Paul Madden.
I just wrote my name down in case anybody had any questions.
Oh, okay. Committee reports. James.
As Heather already told you, it's out for bid already for the park. It is out, and of course, co-stars, all these people that will bid on it have to be members of co-stars. And so consequently, it's out for about 3.5 weeks. And if The bid opening will be in Jason Wood's office, which is called Woodland Design in Holmesdale. You can all go online. It is a Zoom meeting, and it's going to be Friday, July the 18th at 3:30 p.m. And anyone who's interested in finding out, he said a number of companies have already picked up the bids, so he thinks it's good that they're getting a good response to what we have out on bid. So I think that's a positive
That's a good thing.
condition, yes. Concerning the Bob Wilson Field, if you have a chance to go down there tomorrow, there, Mello is going to be putting the lights in. The standards are already there, and now Pioneer is somewhat behind because of the fact that of the rain, of course, and the weather has been against them. But they feel that they're moving along good, and they'll have a good day tomorrow. So if you're, I suggest all of you to go down at least once a week and see the progress of what they're doing down there. It's very interesting, and it's very interesting to see all the different ways that they have to make sure that 100% drainage is off that field, and also to see how they insert all the things that have to be inserted to drain the field, and to add the different things that need to be in, like it doesn't go right through the field, but the sewage line and the utilities and that have to be added in. And so there's a lot of complexion to it. So Joe Gillot, he wanted to have two bills, as you saw, or we voted on before. The two bills are from Pioneer strictly, and that is they have moved along, and they have done a huge amount of earth moving. If you have gone down there and seen it, it's just tons and tons of earth moving, and they're moving along very well. And
Has Joe resolved the drain pipe size issue?
Yes.
Yep, yeah, actually I talked to Joe, I could add on to that a little
Sure.
bit, but Pioneer, I talked to Pioneer, talked to Joe, they came up with a resolution. I don't know if it's installed yet, but I haven't been down
Not
there
yet.
for maybe
Yeah,
2
I was
weeks.
talking to Joe tonight.
Is that gonna be a change order?
No,
No.
mm-mm. No, you know what it was, Justin Kromko from Pioneer Construction Company had, a catch basin in the yard that he's able to reuse. So, and then whatever piping, I guess they're going from 15 to 24 or 18
Yeah.
to 24.
Yes.
1 or 2 catch basins, so, yeah.
That's
The
called
better saved the day.
people
Yes.
working with other people for a solution. And they,
Yes.
and this is what I'm so thrilled about this, because that could have been a very bad change order, because we did have a water problem down there, but they're
Yeah, it's coming together.
a great company.
You know, and if we didn't have so much rain, it probably would have been much further along, but
Yeah.
For sure.
It's-
technically they have until September.
It's
so-
good it happened at the beginning,
Mhm.
that we're very fortunate in that.
Yeah, but they probably won't catch the grass growing season the beginning of it, they're probably gonna catch it in the fall. So they do have until September, mid-September, I think, to get it wrapped up, so they still have plenty of time. But it's coming together nice.
And I think we owe Justin Kromko and another gentleman a big thank you for donating their time. Weren't
Yeah,
they
so-
pouring a slab?
Yeah, so,
Don't worry, I already have.
Okay, so-
yeah, the dugout, Justin Kromko, and had contacted Wayne County Concrete. Wayne County Concrete is donating the materials for the dugouts, and Justin and a few other members, I don't know exactly who, are donating their time and materials to form out the dugouts, and I don't know when that'll be done, but soon. And then, who was it, Drew Morcom, I talked to Joe about it, there was people from Little League, Drew Morcom was kind of spearheading it, there was people that were donating materials to put the block in for the dugouts, and then, who was it that was putting the roof on the dugouts? There's somebody else that he got.
I was just overwhelmed to have people work.
Yeah, there was
work
quite a
like
few,
this.
quite a bit of collaboration together to get that done. anyway, if I think about it.
We'll have to be sure to get a list of names so we can send them a thank you card when all
Yeah.
is said and done.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, we'll get a list together.
The overhead doors, do I have all the final bills and that from them?
No, the electrician finished up today,
Okay,
and then northeast door, well, we have to take off, yeah, I'll read that. So the Cawley Electric was $1,670 to get the wiring done on the 4 doors at the shop. He's done, he got here Monday, finished up today, and then northeast door will come back. They have to program the doors and the clickers. But we still have to take down a section of ductwork. It's a small section, so if anybody's available,
it's in the
I can use
garage,
some help.
if you know
Yeah,
anybody.
because I don't think we could put Earl up on a 16-foot ladder.
Yeah,
So we'll coordinate that. And then I have to call Northeast Doors back to come down, program, and get everything done. So, is that it, Jane?
and the material shed and life packs I've sent to the state to get the money. So they're
Mhm.
completed. And, that's all I have to report tonight.
Okay. Thanks, Jane. Budget and finance.
Shelley and I talked a little bit, and come within the next month, we're gonna start working on the 2026 budget to present to council so that we can look at it and start getting things done early instead of waiting until the beginning of December and deciding, oh, we need to work on the budget. And then, we wind up in a pickle. So we're going to start working on it within the next month.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Streets and roads, me. Let's see. So line painting. So I kindly asked us to rescind the motion from last meeting. I was able to get another quote for line painting, and so now we have 2 comparable quotes. We didn't have that last month. So Stall by Stalls, Greg Stahl, can paint the whole town for $38.39. That's including the Route 6 intersection. Universal line painting, the original quote was 10 and change, plus another, it was about 16 grand to do the whole town. I asked Universal to re-quote it in paint, and for him to do, it was 8 and 13? Yeah, so he came down a little bit. Obviously, Stall by Stalls it's painting, so Universal had quoted us with the plastic inlaid material at Route 6, so that's what jacks the price up. Stall doesn't do that. So now it's comparable painting with glass beads, PennDOT specifications, so I think that's probably the best way to go. And he said he would do the crosswalks in railroad tracks, as Jane requested.
Thank you.
Yes, so thank you, Heather. We'll need a motion to rescind.
Does this come, excuse me, does this come out of liquid fuels?
Yes.
Excuse me.
And is it okay to do, I am not opposed to the railroad tracks at all. I think it's a great idea. I love the idea. But is PennDOT okay with that? And I only question it because I know Honesdale, there was a big write-up about it years ago. I just don't want to wind up in
We don't have to
a...
put them on the state streets. We can, it's mostly South Street I'm concerned about because that's where and Water Street. So we can just keep it on our streets and not put it on PennDOT streets.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll just do that.
I mean,
Compromise.
like I said, I think it would look neat throughout the whole thing. I just don't want to get in trouble.
That's a good point, a valid point.
Sure is. So could we have a motion to
I'll make a
rescind?
motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Motion.
Okay.
Universal.
And I'll second it.
Motion made by Randy, seconded by Jane,
I guess the truth would be,
seconded by Teresa. All in favor?
aye.
Nays, abstentions, motion passes, and now we just need a motion to,
I'll make a motion to hire Stahl,
right,
final painting.
for $38.39.
I second it.
Motion made by Randy, seconded by Shayna. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Nays, abstentions, motion passes. Great.
Next to all, like,
Mhm.
oh, nice little layout, is it?
Yeah. That's it. Park and recreation, Shannon.
Well, as Teresa said earlier, obviously Saturday we have the parade. Lineup is 3 o'clock at RD. We go through town and at the Grove. Looking for anybody, me personally, I'm looking for anybody with classic cars or Jeeps to end the parade. And as soon as this parade is over, I'm going to be start looking for volunteers for our Waymart's 175th for next year. So if you're willing to volunteer time, energy, greatly appreciated for our
And
big.
Pennsylvania
Awesome.
celebration.
Yes, it's,
Oh, yeah.
like I said, I'm worried about Waymart right now.
It's a double whammy.
It's a
for
double
all.
whammy, but right now I'm worried about Waymart, so,
And not Pennsylvania, I mean the countries.
yeah,
So-
so,
Country's 250 and the
Yeah, that's two.
Gravity Railroad and King Island Company is 200.
that's all I have.
Thank you, Shayna. Utilities, Don,
Nothing really.
chasing around streetlights.
Only a couple. I mean, I have a couple, I'm waiting for a couple more answers on what dumpsters will cost.
Okay.
Other than that,
Safety, Darren. What's your tip of the month?
Stay safe out there.
Wear sunscreen.
Yeah, purchasing,
trip.
Randy.
not the core.
All right, unfinished business. Conditional use, at the KELG. So we deliberated, and someone wants to make a motion?
Well, we're gonna,
When they want to speak.
Oh, no,
No, they wanted to speak about the ordinance.
yeah, the ordinances that we
Oh,
have to pass.
and that's, new business. Right?
Right. Yeah, you already had the hearing.
well,
So you want a motion?
Yes, we need a motion on the
Okay.
floor.
In compliance with our zoning laws, I make a motion based on the location of site in the district it falls under, CG Commercial General. None of the associated conditional uses fit the description of a warehouse. The only district that the conditional use fits is that of I Industrial, and this location is not zoned for it. So I vote no.
There's a motion on the floor made by Teresa. Do roll call.
So the motion is to not, can you just, because I don't know if you said the words, like, did she say?
Based on the location of the site in the
Okay.
district that it falls under, Commercial General, none of the associated conditional uses fits the description of the warehouse, so I vote no,
Not to approve,
not to approve,
that's what I was looking,
based in compliance with our zoning laws.
okay.
Mhm.
Second? Need a second.
Yes, we need a second. And then we're gonna do roll call.
I second the motion.
So there's a motion made by Teresa, seconded by Shayna. And we'll just do roll call.
So motion has been made, as Teresa stated, to not approve conditional use. Roll call vote, Shane Bailey,
Yes.
Shane Delaney,
No.
Darren Howell,
yes.
Don Miller, Teresa Stratton,
No.
Randy Thorpe,
Yes.
Jane Barco.
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 4 to 3 to not approve.
No. 4 to 3.
No.
4 to 3 to approve.
I think they misunderstood the
I did
question,
too. Right.
because they should be voting yes if she made
Yes,
it, and
because
one
if
to,
you
or-
stated to not approve,
Correct.
if you stated to not approve,
It was a negative.
you should say yes.
We should say yes and
Okay,
they
so we
should
were
say
backwards.
no, but he said yes.
So let's just do it
You
again.
got the.
Yeah.
Let's.
And
have-
I know
First time I
I'm
voted,
the
I think so.
concussion
Yeah.
room.
I would like to make a suggestion that we have a motion that's only not 25 words long, maybe 10 words long. so that we.
So just, the motion should be to not approve,
To deny,
to deny the conditional,
that should be the motion.
to deny the conditional use.
And
Is
if
that-
you agree with it, say yes. If you don't agree with that motion, say no.
You sure with that.
What's that? I know, I apologize. Take two. Can you erase that? Can you back that up? Clip that.
Turn off the internet.
All right, yeah, make the motion smaller, shorter.
Dumb it down.
So-
Make a
so-
motion to deny the conditional use.
I make a motion to deny the conditional use
Right.
based on the compliance of our zoning laws.
Okay, so the motion has been made to deny the conditional use based on the zoning laws.
And if you agree with that,
We
then you
need a
say
second.
yes. Okay.
We
I
need a
second the motion.
Shane has seconded it.
Okay. Roll
Rewind.
call. Shane Bailey.
No.
Shane Delaney.
Yes.
Darren Howell.
No.
Don Miller.
Yeah.
Teresa Stratton.
Yes.
Randy Thorpe.
No.
Jane Varco.
No,
Okay, somebody else. So no, 1, 2,
Mhm.
3, 4, 3.
Same count.
Same count.
Wait, what if we word like this?
Wait, should we do it one more time? Okay.
So the motion has been passed. By a vote, or is it?
Denied.
Denied.
Right.
Denied, but the motion passed. The motion to deny the conditional use passed.
No.
No, no,
no.
The
No,
motion,
the motion to
The
deny.
motion was made, but it's passed, cause you have more people saying yes, it's allowed, than there are people saying no, it's not allowed.
Okay.
The motion has not passed.
Motion has not passed, okay. So the conditional use has passed. Correct.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay, so we have for unfinished business.
It failed, the cards were defeated. It failed.
Thank you, Maria.
There you go. Yeah, right.
So we had advertised for two, oh, here we go. Two ordinances, Waymart Borough Quality of Life, Waymart Borough Application for Excavation Permit. Did anybody want copies of these?
I just pointed out that Forest City newspaper, this is a clipping out of there, they just adopted this. It's, I must say, it's the longest complicated ordinance I've seen, but it really covers a tremendous amount of,
Gives our ordinances some legs for Joe to be able to enforce.
right, right.
You have any questions, Don?
I have a couple of questions on it.
Sure.
Yeah, the pages aren't numbered, so, but it is on page 6,
Okay.
section M. It says storage containers for waste and trash. The owner of every premises shall supply approved containers for waste and trash, as well as be responsible for the removal. And I don't think the owner of the property would be responsible to supply containers.
I guess that's not how it was written in the lease, if you're renting. Is that what you mean?
Right. I mean, maybe it should be owner / occupant,
Mhm. Okay.
because that just doesn't seem to make sense.
Mhm.
And then on, page 7,
Yeah, you got that down.
on page 7, under temporary dumpsters, it's saying there's a permit required to place a dumpster on private property. And that just doesn't seem right. I could see like if you're putting it on a public street, then you would need to get approval and get a permit, but to put a dumpster, like if you're doing a remodel job or doing a roof and you have to get a permit and approval as to where to place the dumpster on
Okay.
private property, that just didn't make sense, and there's no permit fee there. It just says that there'll be a permit required, but they don't give a cost either. So I understand, like, I mean, we worked in a lot of different towns, and, you
Mhm.
know, if you're putting something on the street, you always have to get a permit and permission from the town, and they usually pay,
And that makes sense.
yeah.
So just scratch the, private property
Yeah, I think so.
portion,
If you're gonna put a dumpster on the borough street, yeah.
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 I think that was the main,
If we have no objections, could we change those two?
Yeah, I think so, we'll just amend them, make note of
Amend them?
it, put it in the minutes.
Yeah, 'cause they really don't make sense.
What's that, Don?
Don't say that out loud.
Nothing.
Okay, so we have to make a motion to pass these with the two amendments,
Corrections.
corrections. Mhm.
So it's R, and what was the other letter?
M.
Section A.
Okay, thank you.
I don't have, this, I don't have it, I do not have an electronic copy
I do,
of this to go in and make changes.
okay,
You do?
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay, so, motion,
Sure, I'll make a motion.
Us.
what's that, Teresa?
I'll second it.
Okay, motion made by Darren, seconded by Teresa, to adopt the ordinance with the two additions.
Changes.
Read the ordinance that we
The,
did.
Waymart Borough quality,
Okay, nope, that's fine.
Motion made by Teresa, seconded by, no.
No,
Motion made by
Darren,
Yeah,
seconded.
all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion passes. Second one was, Karen, you have it.
the, Waymart Borough application.
The open road.
Special permit.
Yeah, so that's for utility companies to come in, let us know what they're doing, because they typically come into the town and it's usually a surprise to all of us, so, this will keep everybody on the same page, there's an application fee, and then it also holds their feet to the fire to come back and fix the trenches. Any questions on this one?
I have a couple, just minor, in the first two sentences under performance guarantee and maintenance guarantee, those first paragraphs at the bottom, it says, estimate of cost shall be attached to this permit application and must be prepared by a licensed engineer in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I think the estimate really needs to be from an engineer.
No, probably not.
That's, it just seems.
Yeah, that's a little overkill.
Extreme, in both of those paragraphs, it has that. And then, towards the back, it does say there's an exhibit A, and I did not see an exhibit A attached, which I think is the road specs. And, just so you guys know, you probably need to attach an exhibit A to it.
Is it on that?
I couldn't,
We have a copy electronically
Oh,
of this.
sorry, I
I
think some.
do.
all we have is the PDF, so of this, so there's nothing else.
Mhm. No, I don't, yeah, I have both of them in PDF format.
Yeah, stuff in there on the bottom of it.
So we need a motion to pass this one. I agree that, I don't think a licensed engineer needs to be, involved in an estimate.
And what was the other one?
You said there was an attachment, but there was no attachment.
Yeah, the attachment.
Oh, okay.
I'll double check.
Okay.
I don't.
I think it was just our road.
It's back on section 119.
The engineer being involved in the estimate, that's just to provide us what? That if the engineer is required to show us that it's being repaired the correct way, I'm fine with that.
Mhm.
No, it's with the permit
an
application, they ask for an estimate, but they're asking for the estimate to be prepared by an engineer. And typically, an engineer doesn't prepare an
Oh, I got
estimate,
you.
Mhm.
it would be the.
So we'll just take engineer out, we'll just
Right.
prepared estimate, just an estimate.
Attached application.
And then the specifications, there's no specifications now in the back of it? No? Okay.
This is the original one, did that have it?
I mean, it said they can be added by resolution. too.
Yeah, I know we have them,
I
but,
mean, if you-
okay,
Yeah, they just need to be attached, that's all, just
yeah, okay.
so you know. Okay.
All right, motion to
Yeah, no, there was nothing else attached in that,
Okay.
PDF.
I make a motion to pass this, excavation, application for excavation permit.
With the ones,
I'll second.
Just gotta add in to,
With
With
changes.
the, with the two minor changes.
right, okay.
Or, I guess it wouldn't be a change, amendments doesn't exist, so I guess you just say.
Uh, motion made by Jane, seconded by Randy, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion passes. And the last but not least, we have a sidewalk maintenance agreement. Did Chris ever this one? I didn't get to talk to him about it.
I don't have a copy of that, I don't think.
It's an email that I sent you, we had it at the beginning, we had it at last month's meeting, but it was discussed that it needed to be a vote before it was signed.
So they're replacing the culvert pipe up by the hotel, and, they're putting a new bridge in, and they're gonna put new sidewalks in. PennDOT will foot the bill for it, but then they wanna turn the sidewalks over to us for long-term maintenance.
Are they going to put cement sidewalks in?
I don't know, Jane, because this is all we got.
Because they objected back in the old days when I was on council, they objected to the asphalt
Mm.
ones, and they said that the sidewalk, and that's why we didn't put the sidewalk out on Route 6,
Mhm.
that we were going to, because they said it had to be cement.
Where are they putting sidewalks exactly?
I don't, they didn't give us any plans, so I'll hold on to
We
this.
should probably do motion for you to pending copy.
Isn't there blacktop up by your house?
Those
Isn't there
are old.
blacktop
Yeah,
sidewalk up
that's
past
what we
you?
put in, and they objected
Yeah,
to
it
us
doesn't specify.
vehemently.
PennDOT didn't put it in.
No, we put it in when we built the apartments up there, because some people said it's dangerous for the residents to walk down the road, which it is. So that's why the borough put in the asphalt, but the problem was PennDOT was against us because they said it should be cement, but we just let it go and we put asphalt in and never did anything more about it.
So I'll hang on to this, I'll talk to Chris, I'll get a set of plans, cause this is all they gave us. It's just a sidewalk maintenance agreement, so it's vague, I don't know what it is.
That not being able to use asphalt, that might have something to do with wheelchairs and the handicap thing, that's very
That
possible.
could be,
I think it does have to be concrete,
that makes sense.
I think so.
I think that's it, folks.
Shane,
Yeah,
Janelle Gary?
oh
We
jeez,
had that on there.
I did have that written down. We need to reinstate Janelle Geary onto zoning for a 2-year term?
It would be 3. You're
3 years.
renewing her position on the zoning hearing board.
For 3 years.
It expired this month
Okay,
for a period
right,
of 3 years going forward.
okay. Any
I
objections? Any
make a
questions?
motion
Okay.
to reinstate Janelle Geary to the zoning hearing board for a 3-year term.
I second it.
Motion made by Teresa, seconded by Shayna, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstention, motion passes. Any other questions, concerns, thoughts? No? Motion to adjourn? Okay, good night, everybody.
I'll second it.
Motion passes.
Right. We reinstate